I like incorporating different languages, like anything, you know. Uh,
Yeah, would you say like that's one of your big influences, like different cultures and like kind of like combine
Dude,
different styles of music?
yeah, dude. I listen. I don't know. Like sometimes, man, I'll start my sets randomly if it's like the middle of the summer, just like with like 15 minutes of like 100 BPM, like island reggaeton stuff. I mean, that's what like that bamboo song, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what that is. Like that. There's like a whole era where I mean, I don't know. For years, like my most added to playlist is La Playa, and it's all Spanish music and like just spicy island beats.
So let's talk about Bamboo actually. Like that was released on Mad Decent.
Yes.
And that was what, 4 years ago? Like, how did that all get started? How did you make that happen?
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, okay. So that is it. It has been a while actually. It's funny that you bring that up. And we did do the remix this year, or was that, or maybe that was 21.
Oh, okay. That one did really well too.
That did better than the first. Well, because it's
Yeah.
house time. Like it's so
Right.
amazing, right? But okay, but running back to that whole story is like so. I mean, I had been making music with Pumpy for years already. That was a song that we had made and dropped just on, I don't know, it was like some random like YouTube channel and it did well, but then we like ended up, he like rebranded, and then there was like still a song that we had, but then we got Diplo's email from our friend Rebecca, who just like was his roommate in LA, like randomly it was like, oh yeah, we got a Diplo remix, and then she like, we just had the emails, and like many months later he just responded, I'm in Poland and he was here, and like, yeah, they're like, Diplo wants to sign your music. It was really cool. It was crazy. And then like, I don't know. And then he played it at Burning Man and all that. But like it was I would say like, you bring up a good question. I think that like labels are an interesting thing because you you can't like you can't rely on anybody in the world to do it really anything for you, right? It's like you have to do stuff yourself at the end of the day. So like um so it was like a beautiful launch pad, but I look at it as like a stamp by Diplo, as him being like, hey man, like you're awesome, here you go. Like I wouldn't like, and I'm so happy and grateful for it, but I wouldn't go as far as to like, you know really even define the past 4 years as like the one song. So it's like that's just one thing, and then like you go and you find different pathways. It's funny though, and none of the stuff that I ran into after that really came from me like trying to get it. It was all just like someone heard about what I was doing and then reached out. And then I'm like, okay, does that make sense?
Yeah, dude, for sure. And I mean,
Yeah.
you've released a lot of music, like self-released, right? So you just launched your own label, Optics Records. You had an interview with 1001 track list, and a lot of people are noticing this too. So like, how long have you been planning Optics Records? Like, when did you get this idea?
Ooh, the idea actually came this year. I've always looked up to it kind of, a lot of things have been clicking for me, right? Like any artist I look up to that is really big, right? You look at Diplo, right? It's like he has multiple labels, and it's like, and they're at different stages of growth too. So the beautiful thing about optics is it's like maybe I finally like picked up that like that's something I want to do this year, but I see it as like a something that I'm gonna have 10 years from now and beyond. It's a way for me to have freedom to put out music when I want to put out music, and not really have to think about anyone else's like trajectory, right? It's like, okay, we like this, let's put it out. Now I can still work with everybody in the world, and I'm excited to do so, right? But having that like our own thing, like I was talking to my friend side project today, like let's release this record, when are we going to do it? Oh, let's do so like on the 27th I want to drop this video, let's do the 14th. It's like that easy, right? Like that's, dude, man. Meanwhile, like my label stuff, I got stuff I can't talk about. That's awesome. I'm so excited. Like, I don't know when that's all gonna pan out, man. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
He's like,
you've had a ton of support from Dim Mak though. Like you're playing the shows, the hype is
I
there.
love Dim Mak. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, dude, I used to listen to Steve. Like that was. You remember like MySpace? Like,
Okay.
like a lot. Like I don't know what year that was, but like Steve and Bloody Beetroots, like that there's a collab. It's like Warp 1.9.
Yeah, Warp.
I would say that was like one of my like first songs that I got onto. Like I was like, damn, like what is this? Like
Oh yeah,
like
I still remember hearing that at a party.
music.
I'm like, I had to know this song. Like I will never forget that moment.
And then they had, and also I'm at this age where like I'm just like a kid in the suburbs watching his computer, you know, like, and I'm just like, whoa, like these guys, they're throwing a party in LA and it looks awesome, right? And I'm like, whoa, like what is this, right? Like it was, and then I remember he had these headphones. I just asked we played Summerfest, and I was talking to his like one of his managers like that about these headphones that he used to have. The like all those, I don't know if you remember them. You know how there's like, Wesk, We Are Superlative Conspiracy. They were like colorful. They were like white with like a like color, like they looked way cooler than anything else. But I don't think they ever really took off because I never saw them. Like once I actually got around to really DJing, like I don't think I ever got a pair. But
yeah, how was Summerfest then? It looked pretty dope. I saw the video.
It was 15,000 people. That was crazy. Like it was, you know what worked really well too is like, because Dim Mak is such a big label with so many different artists, that like the lineup was so like all these different genres, right? So it's like, you know, you have like Riot 10, Crank That, and then Nostalgics and myself. So it's like bass house, and then it's like, but you would think that that's crazy, but actually for Summerfest crowd, it's a movie. They love it. They're like, you know, that's super receptive because it's like it's such a mix of people. It's kind of like Lollapalooza is, you know what I mean? Like where it's like everybody's there, so they're just like about it.
Yeah, but you also played Soundbar with DJ Susan and Hood Politics, or no, you didn't play that show. You didn't.
Yeah, I was that. You know, when Susie's in town, I have to support. I just came and chilled with the boys. Yeah, they were.
Right. Yeah, I talked to you for a bit.
Susan was on fire.
Dude, I loved his set. It was awesome.
He was on fire that night. Like I don't know if I don't think Soundbar has ever been treated to such a just a set, dude. Like he was ready to go. Me and Susan have been booling in LA. Let me tell you, bro. Like we did 2 days. We did SLS pool party, day trip, like homies back to back at the end, like played music. It was so fun. Like,
but tell me a little bit about your connections in LA. So you're from Chicago, from the suburbs.
Yeah.
But I feel like you have a big presence out in LA right now. Like you're staying out there. Like tell me about
so I've been coming out here since that Diplo record, right? So I started like since the Mad Decent thing, I've been coming out here like all the time. Like, you know, I did do it. You know what's interesting is I actually had to, I kind of stopped. I was going like every month or two, right? For like, you know, but like the trips just keep getting longer. It goes from like 2 days to 3 days. Now I'm out here 2 weeks, right? Like, and it's like, so that's been going on. But it's like I just met great people here, like right away, you know, and I feel like, you know, LA. I've definitely played more shows in Chicago than I have in LA, but I feel like here it's like this awesome base of creatives to work with. Like I love the vocalists I can work with over here. Like I have a song that I made with Justin Park. He's a K-pop guy. Amazing. Like that. It's gonna be a big record. Like I don't know. Who else do I really like? I mean, like Dim Mak has put me in touch with a lot. That's one thing I love about that label is they put me in touch with a lot of other artists. Like they're like, hey, 24 hours, come to the studio, meet this guy. Like Nostalgics, come, you know what I mean? Like it was like we're all just in there talking. So I think that's really cool. But it's like each time, oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I took a break from coming to LA really during COVID, but during that time, I like really got into house music. Like just like you know, it's funny, like for the past 4 or 5 years, or even longer, like I always had house music like records, but I never like I used to focus on hip hop just because like it was what all my friends were doing, and it was like, and then like, and I really enjoyed it, but I never really got to like, I would still play in the clubs, and like I would still play like, you know, weekend shows in the city, and it would be like just house remixes of hip hop records, right? And then it was like, and then I would produce it, but you know, I always felt like, oh man, I wanted to make something dancier, you know what I mean? Like it didn't like quite fully click, but then like, dude, with COVID, it was like, okay, I met a house legend. That's what happened. And her
Dana Divine.
Yeah, and she just came and like we just started, but it was like also because there was nothing else to do. So I stopped coming to LA during that time, and just like I spent this solid year at Goat House in like Wicker Park, like just like ripping house music, like, you know, or like, you know, where it's just like the rappers don't come in during the day. So like during the day from like noon to like 7 p.m. I'm just, you know, just rip like a long session by myself. Sometimes, yeah, I would like, I was in there so much that I would just like, sometimes I just watch a movie, you know?
Yeah. So Dana is a house legend. She's done vocals on a lot of your songs and a lot of songs in the history of Chicago house also. So you've worked with her a couple times now. Like, what do you think she contributes to your music? Like having her influence and like that, like
It's
that pedigree.
So that pedigree, so like older, I would say, you know, the legends of house music, like just going back to like, you know, okay, she wrote Brighter Days, which came out in the early 90s. Everything was different back then, right? So like the entire like process of recording a song, like going from recording hip hop vocalists who are like, let me punch the whole thing, bro. Like I'm gonna do this song in 5-second increments. You know what I mean? Versus like the way they recorded back then was like, you know, the tape is running. They just go in the booth, like Dana goes in, sings for like 20 minutes a take, right? Doesn't stop, like same phrase over and over. It's like, hey, you think you got it? You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, it was like I had it 15 minutes ago, but like you have fun. Like,
yeah.
Like,
it's only a couple lines, but she nails it every time, I'm sure.
But it's like passion though. It's like passion. It's like, yeah. And I would say that like, you know, execution is really the next. It's like writing is one thing, making beats is one thing, but then it's like right now I'm just focused on like writing hooks, right? It's like that, like it's like writing something that like the crowd will sing back to me, right? Like that is goals. Okay.
Yeah.
So like, you know, Dana is just like put me in the right direction in terms of just songwriting, I feel like, where now I'm like focused on making better stuff. But it's like the production just came along with it, man. It's like the production stuff you just have to do to like, it's like just reps, right? It's like if I'm doing like a bunch of like remix reels and TikToks and stuff, and it's fun. At first I hated it, and then I was like, wait, this is actually awesome, like because I got better at the editing, but also like you're just making little like fire logs for your DJ set. Like at the end of the day, you made whatever, like, okay, you make a remix, right? Like never gonna be, you upload it to SoundCloud and it just like instant denial, just like this is owned by everybody. Fuck you, right? And it's like, and then you look at it's like, okay, like whatever, like I can play this when I play live and like it's gonna be awesome. Like that's it, right? If it sounds good. So it's like if you're doing it for the right reasons, I feel like things just kind of start to evolve. Like your music just kind of starts to evolve. And like Dana's like an awesome person on the journey. And like I love all the like the bigger people that I've met that are like, you know, like really crushing it right now, like Steve, like super humbled to have that relationship, you know, like it's like you know, it's fun. It's like, you know, there's only so much time that someone at that level could devote to each of the different artists that he's able to like help out, right? But I have like mad respect for the guy and like mad love for like what he's doing with the label to like bring other people into it and like to even play those shows. Cause it's a huge honor to play. There was like 15,000 people, like to just, you know, like to like throw, like I finally looked at those videos today. I actually didn't even like look at them. Like I finally watched it. I was like, holy crap, this is awesome. Like,
yeah, but that was like by far the biggest show that you've been a part of.
Yeah, I think so. Cause one time I did like, I think it was like 12,000 people. It was a Chainsmokers show. And
dope.
It was the Iowa State Fair, and that was so fun. It was like, oh my god, that story, like just the adventure, like going from Chicago to play that randomly, like on a whim, was so fun. But like, yeah, this was, I mean, it was different. It was also like, you know, it's so interesting. I think like at that time too, like it was like I definitely wasn't so house oriented. I feel like now I've like really honed in on my sound, you know, like it's taken me time to find something where I'm like, yeah, this is like I want the rest of my stuff, everything to sound like this, right?
So like let's talk about your hip hop background then. So you were producing hip hop and then you kind of made this transition to house music and electronic music before that. But like your hip hop influences, do you think that's a big part of your music, like having that background? And I saw in the
because I just I learned how to record people.
Yeah, I saw you call it hip house, right?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, so and then when I DJ, so here's the thing: like people love rap vocals. You know what I mean? It's like it's really fun. Like I just like sometimes, you know, when you you just hear the right phrase at the club and it puts you on this whole other energy level. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be hip hop though, but it's like I think that was just like, you know, where I don't know what the phrase is. I don't know, I'm just like skipping it. It's like you just like grind it out in a certain genre. You know what I mean? Like I was like learning to like even how to like really produce that much, you know, because that was the first time, like it was so fun. Like me and my friend Richie, we would just like sit there and like make hundreds of songs, you know, you'd just be just making them because it was a first. So it's like I think that music is a journey. Like you find out what you like to produce, but then you also learn about the business world on the way, right?
Mhm.
And, yeah, and so I definitely learned a lot from hip hop, but like I think house was like I'm also European, right? So it's like my parents are I'm first generation Polish, right? So it's like they're all my influence is like almost disco, you know, like ABBA, like I don't know, like it's like early on stuff that I heard, right, was like disco polo music from like the early 90s that was just like super cheesy Euro pop, you know, like
Yeah.
and so it's like all like really hyper dance, like hyper, like not like necessarily jump up and down. Like it was just like really, but it was like the dance music of the time.
Yeah. Some like Euro dance.
Yeah. Whereas so now I've been like remix, like I actually pick all my friends' brains for songs I should remix because I don't know the old Americana stuff. You know what I mean? Like, my mom only like she was like I think I knew who Elvis was, right? Or like, you know, like I mean, like obviously like, you know, like the Beatles, like stuff like that, but it's like like I love hearing the kind of like the oldies, you know, and like finding things in there that like, you know, are
Mhm.
just like something to remix. Like yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
those songs
really
that everybody
excited.
knows the
I'm really
words to.
excited about the zombies flip because it just like blew up on TikTok and it's
Okay.
like random out of the blue and it's just like, you know, but it's a great song. Like it makes sense. Like I ripped it at Day Trip. Like, you know, you could just tell like it's people know, it's like it was recorded in 1967, but it's like, you know, you hear the somehow it was in movies, it stayed around, and like you could it's like instant party activation. It's like
Yeah.
right? He's like, you flip a switch and you're like, well, everyone knows you know, it's like, yeah,
Right.
active. Um,
But you talked about the business side and like TikTok and stuff like that. That's such a big part of being an artist now. So it sounds like you're enjoying that aspect of your career though. Like you've been studying the business a long time and you're really like capitalizing on social media and your connections. So like where do you think like TikTok and all that social media networking stuff like fits into your music career?
I think it's huge for reaching new fans. I think that as someone who's played a lot of gigs for like I played like large crowds for the past couple of years, like a lot of venues across the country, right? And I know that from those shows, how many fans I got from that versus what comes from the internet, right? It's like the internet is more important. So it's like TikTok to Spotify is like a huge pathway, you know, or TikTok to SoundCloud, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, so now you have, so it's like a whole new way to reach new people to take, you know, to get you to your music, which will get, then you will get shows, right? But it's like from like, let's say from a show, you get, you know, even if you play for 5,000 people, it's not like 5,000 people are going to follow you now, right? That's not how it works. It's like, but the internet, so it's like, it's actually, I think that's a good way to look. It's like if anyone who's discouraged from making TikToks or like, you know, is like, "Oh, I don't feel like doing this also," or it's like, I already do so much. Like, why would I like start making these short videos? Or so someone once said, like, I'm an elf making little presents on Christmas or something. Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
or like stuff like that. Like why, if you're looking for a justification, it's like it's awesome. Like it's for growth, it's better than you going and playing for thousands of people. Like, you know what I mean? Like it'll help you get to where you want to go. So like why not just do it? Right. And then it's like, and I found like with remixing, I'm having fun with it. But like also, yeah, like it depends. I mean, I try not to force anything, right? And just like keep it fun. And then also like you don't know what's gonna stick, also, you know what I mean? So it's like You might do something, think it's like the most hype thing ever, be like, dude, this is gonna rip, and then like no one likes it. You're like, okay, whatever. Then like but you gotta just like then like 2 hours later, I make another one, right? And I'm
Yeah,
like,
just post again, right?
like who gives
But
a
I
fuck?
mean,
No, that's what I'm saying, like that. But that's the healthy way to look at it. Otherwise, you're
yeah.
gonna be sitting there scratching your head and all kinds of stuff. Like, why
And
not?
that's the right way to look at it too. Like you want to just start posting stuff and like have the content out there and like practice along the way, in my opinion. Like, and TikTok has a lot of like the click-through rate you get on TikTok to your SoundCloud or your Spotify is like exponentially more than like Instagram, you know?
It is, yeah. I see. Like I didn't read the full report, but I watched like
Yeah.
my
Oh, I just see how mine does. Like I don't even post on TikTok that
uh,
much, but people click the links, you know? And
yeah.
Jake
No,
Short Drive too.
exactly.
You know Jake.
That's my boy. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, and
I mean, he's keeping my SoundCloud relevant, man, with his TikTok following. They always find my SoundCloud page because of his TikToks.
oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly, right? And like there you go, right? And it's like, why not? You know, like yeah. So I think TikTok is awesome. I also think that I think Reels is cool too. You know, it's really the same thing. Like it's funny. It's literally just the same thing but built into Instagram. Like it's funny.
Right.
Um,
They just steal everything.
but yeah, in the meantime though, I think that yeah, I definitely thought about it for a while, like as to like how much like making TikToks takes away from like producing the way I used to. But if anything, it makes me produce more. Because now I'm just like now I have to like now I'm making these like random ideas, but they kind of have like a little bit more life to them because like there's like a video to it. And then it's like so then I'm really gonna remember like, oh wait, that was really fire. Let's finish it. Right. Whereas like, like before I was producing, like it was just like, dude, you know how many files I have? Like someone be like, hey man, do you have any beats laying around? I'm like, do I have any beats laying around? Gee, like, like I have a lot of beats.
Just a couple.
Right. Just a few. Right.
Yeah. But yeah, talking about videos, I saw your Feel the Love music video that you're raising money for.
Yeah, no. So that not only did we successfully fundraise that
Oh,
was
dope.
shot, it was already filmed over 2 days, 4 different locations. It's like so cool because it's Chicago, so it's like there's a scene on a train car, like which is awesome. Like it just like looks very like because it's like Chicago, it's house music. It's like the vibe is really cool, but like the styling is like kind of old school 70s, and it's like all the dancers are super talented. And then like then there's other locations. There's like a bodega. You have to watch it really. I'm gonna drop a trailer really soon, but it turned out really well. I think I'm gonna put it out like by the end of the month. Like got Heatwave coming up next weekend.
Yeah.
I want to do 3 parties that whole week. I'm gonna like post about that soon. Like just like rip Chicago, send it all the way to the max, like to the moon.
Oh, I saw
Just
the beach party got announced.
yeah, Friday
Yeah.
headline beach party. Saturday will maybe I'll probably not do anything chill. You know what I mean? Sunday big day. Like,
I feel you. Yeah.
yeah,
I got
like
my pass too. I got my
festival
press
set.
pass.
Oh, beautiful.
I'll be there.
Let's go, dude. 2:40
Oh
p.m.
yeah.
You better be. Bro. Let's go.
What do
Gonna
you
be.
love most about playing in Chicago?
What do I love about playing in
Or
Chicago?
like, what do you love about the scene here? Like, what comes to mind? I know you're so passionate about the house music. Like, talk about the like this like the vibe of Chicago.
Yeah, well, I think that I mean, okay, like Spy Bar is a great example, or a Smart Bar, right? It's like
Mhm.
there's certain places where like dance music culture has been a part of that venue's like lifeblood for decades, and it's like they when people go there they go there to dance, like the feeling you get of like playing Spy Bar. Everyone's like, I mean, they're listening to the music the way you would listen to the music, you know what I mean? People are just like they really notice the tracks. It's like, so when you're playing it's just like a certain energy, yeah, because and
Mhm.
then like and the reason I say Smart Bar too because that's in Boys Town. That culture of just like just dance music, house music culture has been there for a very very long time, like since like Frankie Knuckles era, and it was like always like, and it's funny like people actually go there to dance, and like there's a reason why, like if you ask like females in Chicago and you say, hey, where do you want to go dancing, and that they always say Boys Town is the best place to go. It's like that's not just something that recently happened, like that's been that case. It's been
Yeah.
the funnest place to dance for a super long time. Like I also love Detroit. Detroit is also a fun no frills dancing environment.
Oh, for
But like, they
sure.
each have their, but that's it's like it's not all of Chicago is amazing to play at, right? It's like, like I was actually talking to Jake like the other day before I went to LA again. It was like we were like we had coffee. He was like, bro, Chicago is like a almost a tougher place to play, because we were talking about like how we can DJ, because it's like that's the thing. Like, it's like by playing in Chicago, it's like for the amazing crowds and the fun stuff there is, there's also like, you know, like, dude, it's like you have to really get people, you have to work to get people to dance sometimes, right? Like you have to be like, all right, like you look at the crowd, you got some work to do. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not just 5 bar and
like,
sound bar.
that's where you play to the crowd, right? It's like it's like, and then you know what I mean? In those days where I was like trying to get more gigs, it's like, you know, like you gotta you gotta look at what's going on and be like, you know, like I'm mad respect to all the homies playing all the Chicago clubs and bars. Like seriously, like it's you gotta play to the crowd, read them, see what they like, you know, and it's very like you can evolve the nights, but it's like, you know, like I said, like, yeah, and I think, yeah, Jake agreed to it too. It was funny. It was just like, wow, like, yeah, like I think the reason why it's easy to DJ now, and I feel like I could walk in and I feel super comfortable, I'm jumping up and down, I'm having a good time, it's because like it was tough at some point. Right. I mean, like at a certain point, I was reading the crowd, like I didn't know what to do. I was like picking songs, like trying my best. And then like now I'm like, okay, I got this, dude. Like, let's go. Like easy, right?
I mean, there's so many clubs in Chicago and so many opportunities to DJ. So like, how do you choose which ones that you DJ at?
How do I choose? I honestly, at like at this point, it's like people are like sending offers, right? But it's like at a certain, but before it was like, you know, I would say like the latter half of 2020, I was just like, you know, like COVID had just ended and I was just playing to play. Like I was like, you know what I mean? It was like, yeah, I'll do Joy District and then what's that other one? Liquor Box after. Like, why not, dude? Like, right. But then after a while, like after I did that for many consecutive weekends, did all kinds of different, like all the other spots too. It's like, you know, I needed to take a moment to just work on my music and make my music sound as like what I really wanted to play. Because obviously as a DJ, you have the power of being able to play music that other people made and that you made, which is great. However, like, you know, like I want to be playing my music. I want other people to be playing my music, right? So I'm like, let me take some time now to just like play less shows. Like that's why I'm just on the festivals this summer, like mostly trying to like, you know, just work on my craft. You know, just getting better tracks, like positioning them for success. Like that's that, you know, my priorities kind of switched, but like I don't think, you know, I think choosing the club would come down to like, you know, like now, right? It's like, you know, what's the vibe that I want? Like, how do I want the people at the, if they're coming to my show, how do I want them to feel? How do I want them to like experience that set? Do I want them to be in a, like, what's the space like? You know, different thoughts come to mind.
You want those to be unique experiences as opposed to like just playing multiple shows a weekend. You want those shows to really count and like work on your craft and your songs in the meantime too.
Exactly. Yeah, work on my music, and then, you know, like, and then when I do play, it's like more special too. It's like I think that's more exciting. It's like, you know, you want to take that time, and like so you've gotten better, and then, you know, like it's just good for growth, I think, to like, you know, take some time. Then I'll get right back to playing shows nonstop, like no problem, right? But it's like, yeah, this summer I'm just ripping some festivals and then making tunes.
Yeah, I just had Arvi Mala as a mix and interview, and he was talking about the same thing, you know, working on his music as opposed to just playing as many shows as he used to. Like, it's better to be in the studio for like long-term goals. We don't have too much time left. I want to circle back on your relationship and like your connection with Steve Aoki. So, you started listening to Warp 1.9 on MySpace. And now you're working with his label.
And I was so geeked.
And you had a good story too, so let's hear it.
Yeah, well, so we did a project called Belmont Boys, and then with that there was like a PR campaign where we like wanted to clear a sample for that was like it was like an old video. So they're like Steve Aoki had an intern back in those days named Yoshio, and he was like this like exchange student guy, just like barely spoke English, and he was hilarious. So there's like these videos are still on YouTube, and like we just like sampled a piece of it and put it on a record. But like and through that I got in touch with Dim Mak. And then like, again, yeah, I just kept sending them music. And then after a while, they like got back to me and wanted to sign a single. But then they were like, you know, as part of this, let's try this Academy show, crush the Academy show.
Okay.
And then since then I've been like, you know, and then I been to like Dim Mak Studios many times. Like, yeah, really grateful to them. Yeah, they sent me drip. But
Fuck yeah.
yeah, but yeah, like
But it
uh,
started with emails, just emailing them.
yeah.
Full
Straight
demo.
up, man. Yeah, straight up. Yeah,
Yeah, wow.
emails and then like emails and it's like I feel like I feel like when you do email somebody, make sure that like what you're presenting is what you really want to present. Like if they're only gonna look at you once, right?
Hmm.
But then also don't be afraid to send the next thing in a while. But yeah, like
Right. I understand that everyone's busy too, and they get so many promo emails.
yeah, exactly. It's the same thing. It kind of goes back to what we talked about earlier. It was like when you post the video and it doesn't do as good, and then you just got to like brush yourself off and make it good, and then do it again, right? It's the same
Yeah.
principle, right? It's like why are you getting discouraged if you're working on your passion, right? It's like, you know, yeah. For all of those no's, there's gonna be a yes that's gonna like make up for all of it. So you'll be like, yeah, let's go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. So with Dim Mak, you're saying you had studio sessions with 24 hours. I saw you on stage with like Bach and
Okay.
Arrow. Like, do
Fuck
you have any
yeah.
collabs or like projects you
Yeah.
can
Oh
like
my God. I have
talk
tons of
about?
unreleased stuff right now, dude. Yeah, like musically. Yeah. That's why that was another reason why I had to start Optics is because like between the big label stuff and my stuff, like there's just so much stuff that we just need to like get it out there. Yeah. Like I've got a song dropping on the 14th. It's called Shisha with Side Project. It's like a house, it's like a summery house song, fire. And then on the 27th, I've got Feel the Love with the music video dropping. That'll be awesome.
Okay,
And then
cool.
I've got some stuff yeah, that will be announced.
Yeah. So that collab with Side Project is on Optics, right?
Optics. Yeah,
So
both of
like
them.
talk about My Ride and Louisville Baby. I really like My Ride. I was feeling that one. Both songs are
Oh
really
my
dope.
dude,
Like
my ride is a hilarious story, bro. Listen, my
let's hear it.
ride, dude, this guy, okay, like so this guy drove Dana to the studio on like a cold, brisk day in Chicago, like a classic winter day. You know what I'm talking about? Like
Oh yeah.
where
That's
you're
why I
so
want to be in LA, bro.
where it, right, exactly. Where it's just like it's just cold, it's cold, it sucks, like everything seems
Yeah.
close, it seems far, And like Dana's like, yeah, my buddy's gonna drop me off to the studio, which by the way, I'm just gonna say, like the word buddy is really fun. This is like a total tangent, but don't you feel that like calling somebody buddy is like the most demeaning term to a guy? Like, you
I
know what I
don't
mean?
know. I mean,
It
it's kind of
depends,
like a nice way to say my friend,
but it's not
but
a
it's
that
a
exact.
weird word. It's
Yeah, right. Like it's like sometimes you're like, hey buddy, you're like, it's like it could be taken both ways. It's like one of those sensitive things. Anyway,
yeah.
I digress. What were we talking about? Refresh my memory.
Um,
So okay,
My
my
Ride.
ride. My ride. Okay, so this guy randomly drops Dana off at the studio and he's just like sitting in the back of the room and he's like hitting the weed and shit, but he's just like not he kept putting his face mask on. And I'm like, bro, like you don't gotta wear it. Like you're basically like he's like, man, it's straight. He starts talking to me. He just sounds like a straight up boss.
Hmm.
Like the way this guy's talking, like he's so smooth. I'm like, bro, you should just tell me a story. Like, you want me to tell you a story? He just gets in there, like talks for like 20, 30 minutes. And like, how like Dana likes to record, I could tell she was getting a little bit like, man, let me in there. Like there's parts of like both of them talking, but it's like, dude, he just ripped it, told me this like just talked for like 20 minutes. I could probably make like 5 other songs out of like this random recording of this guy telling me these stories in the booth, right? Like, and he's like this, like his name is Dave. Shout out Dave. Like,
That's
like
what Optics is for. Those random songs you want to release.
yeah, man. No,
Yeah.
it is right, and it's like but it's a great song, and it's like I have like like a lot of my friends, a lot of them are DJs too, and they're like, man, like when's that shit coming out? Like, are you dropping it? You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, sure,
Mhm.
like let's go, right? Because it's like I think that there's if it's good, it sounds like if it's good, it's finished, it's mastered, and it's kind of just been hanging out for like a couple weeks or months, and I've made a bunch of new things. Like I don't want things to like get too stale to where I'm literally gonna forget about it, right? It's like whereas if I forgot about it, it does the world no service. Where it could have literally gone out there and someone loves the song, wakes up, works out to it every day, right? And you're like, and you know what I mean? One day they come to the show, they're like stoked, like, bro, that's happened to me before. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I'm
Yeah.
glad I put that out. I could have been
Mhm.
sitting there scratching my head and being like, oh yeah, this might get included in this project coming out in next February. It's like, get it out there, man.
That's got to
Like,
be a great feeling though, hearing those stories where people really connected with your music.
oh, the best. Yeah. I'm so
Yeah.
humbled by the fact that people listen to the music. And like when someone came up to me at Lollapalooza, I was like, man, Trey Bamboo is a great song, dude. Like, thank you. I was like, what? Like randomly, I was just walking around.
Yeah.
Like
Hell yeah.
it was like a crazy moment. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Mhm.
That's awesome. Like it definitely feels good. I'm super humbled by it. Like, hopefully it keeps happening. And yeah, like,
Yeah. We've talked about a little bit about collaborations. Obviously, like you work with Dim Mak and Steve Aoki and you have your own label. But like, who's like one artist, big or small, that you'd want to like work with that you haven't yet?
ooh, dude, Biscuits is like my favorite.
Biscuits. Wow, good answer. Fuck yeah,
Biscuits,
love
man.
that.
Like the way he just rips it, like
Yeah,
his samples, the way it sounds, like just like it's so thick. It's so like
yeah, it is.
groovy. Yeah, I got a chance. I met him at Spy Bar. Whatever, it was a couple
Yeah, a
weeks ago.
couple Memorial Day, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super nice guy. Like, yeah, we're just chilling, drinking Coronas. Like that little back area at Spy Bar, man. That's
Oh
like
yeah.
that is like the networking capital of Chicago house music. Like,
It's a good spot to chill. I love it there.
yeah, dude. Yeah, but you hear about all kinds of people roll through. I met the song, Yolanda Be Cool.
Yeah.
Americano, right?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
like randomly those guys, like then like, yeah, this was like a while ago. Like, yeah, that homie came to, his name is Matt. He's awesome. He came to
Mhm.
Spy Bar. Next day, he's like DJing a pool party. I went with him. Like, I'm
The
telling you,
boat
like
party.
the boat party. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
Oh, it was so fun. Like,
No, he killed it
I can't
too.
wait to play that boat again. I can't wait. Oh, he killed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to play that boat again. Yeah, no, but so that okay, when you go back to your other question, like boat party in Chicago,
Mhm.
masterpiece.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
like
When are you playing on the boat?
man, Oris,
Okay.
Oris.
Yeah.
Like, let me know. I'm so
To
down.
be determined.
Yeah, TVD or Space Yacht, honestly. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, yeah, they came
It'll
back.
happen. It'll happen. You
Okay.
know.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to that.
Yeah, but right now, yeah, I've got Heatwave pre-party, after party. Then we've got North Coast. I'm gonna do like this is like to be announced, but like a music video release. Might do a few parties for that actually. Probably do one in LA too. That'll be cool.
Mhm.
Like towards the end of the month.
Yeah. What about the rest of the year? I mean, you have all those shows, but like anything specific that
I,
fans can expect?
I can't talk about it. I can't talk about
Yeah,
it.
well, that's a good thing though. I mean, you got
It's
some
like
things
I
up your sleeve.
literally,
That it sounds
it's
like.
like I can't talk about it, bro. But I would like, yeah, LA has been good to me.
Yeah. Well, I could imagine, bro. And I'm looking forward to seeing you at Heatwave.
Dude,
Um,
that's gonna be such a good weekend. Like, dude,